Hello friends, what an exciting finish to this Border-Gavaskar Trophy 4th test at the Melbourne cricket ground. When India ought to have saved this test match, drawn it, if not winning it, it was Australia who came back strong, especially in the final session of the test match to win by 184 runs and take a 2-1 lead in this 5-match series, with the last one coming up at the Sydney Cricket Ground from January 3rd. Well, after the last pair of Nathan Lyon and Scott Boland lasted 10 deliveries before Lyon was out to Jasprit Bumrah to give the Indian bowler his 30th wicket of the series and his third 5-wicket haul of the series. Jasprit Bumrah, Australia were all out for 234 in their second innings to give India a target of 340. It was achievable as they had to get it in a minimum of 92 overs. But then, considering the batting lineup of India, which is enormous, the names of Rohit Sharma, Virat Kohli and the youngsters Yashasvi Jaiswal, the maverick Rishabh Pant, they are all match winners. But then the kind of series that Rohit Sharma has been having, the kind of series that Virat Kohli has been having, except for that second innings century in the first test at Perth, this Indian team does not give the confidence that it would go on to win. At least I felt so. India started carefully, cautiously, watchfully, with Rohit Sharma and Yashasvi Jaiswal seeing off the first hour of their run chase without any problem. 15 overs in the first hour and no wicket. They were seeing off the new ball bowlers and seeing off the shine of the ball. But then, Pat Cummins, what a match he has been having. 2 crucial 40-plus scores in this test match, 3 wickets in the first innings, and he has taken Rohit Sharma whenever he felt like. That was what happened today. After drinks, Rohit Sharma, trying to play on the onside, got an edge that flew to Mitchell Marsh at Gully. Rohit Sharma continued his poor run in this series, out for 9 from 40 deliveries and spending over an hour and a quarter at the crease. Before his dismissal, Rohit Sharma was lucky. He edged twice and the ball fell just short of Mitchell Marsh in the Gully region. But then, third time, he was unlucky. In the same over, Pat Cummins dismissed India's prolific run getter in this series, KL Rahul. KL Rahul was out for a 5th ball duck, and that opened the chance for Australia to sniff victory. But then, Yashasvi Jaiswal, what a batsman he has been. He got 82 in the first innings, and today he was one who looked like not giving up his wicket at all. He put a heavy price on his wicket and he batted like he was going to save the test match for India. And especially after having dropped 3 chances yesterday, Yashasvi Jaiswal was all the more determined to do it for the country and save the test match. He had a good support from Rishabh Pant. But then, before that, Virat Kohli was out for cheap yet again, and he was out in the same fashion that has seen him being dismissed. And the Australian bowlers bowling in that corridor outside the off stump, knowing very well that anytime they could get Virat Kohli out. And it was the same manner in which they got him. This time, Mitchell Starc striking wide outside the off stump, and Virat Kohli going for a drive gave an edge to the slip corner. It was for the sixth time in 7 innings this series that Virat Kohli has edged to be caught either by the wicketkeeper or by the slip fielders, and the Australian commentators have also given him the nickname Nicking Machine. Unfortunate to hear that, but then that has been the story of Virat Kohli in this series. Before moving on to the Pant-Jaiswal partnership, here is how Rohit Sharma has fared in the last 15 test innings ever since he scored that 103 against England in the Dharamshala test earlier in March this year. Rohit Sharma has gone 164 runs in his last 15 innings at an average of 10.93. Well, that is something which is unacceptable. Of course, it is not always that batsmen score big runs, but then this is becoming an unhappy story for Rohit Sharma and the manner in which he has been dismissed. Players do go through lean patches. It is all part and parcel of the game, but then this extended run, especially in the last phase of one's career, question marks keep coming. Questions definitely keep cropping up. Well, India found Yashasvi Jaiswal and Rishabh Pant maybe as their saviors of this test match. After Kohli's dismissal, India 3 down for 33 just before lunch. The pair of Jaiswal and Pant saw off the entire second session between lunch and tea. They batted for 27.5 overs. They batted for 27.5 overs between lunch and tea and added 79 without losing any wicket. That gave India the hope of drawing this test match. For India to have won, like Rohit Sharma admitted at the post-match press conference, they needed to have a solid foundation, which was not provided by Rohit Sharma, Virat Kohli and KL Rahul falling with total of only 33 on the board. Jaiswal and Pant carried on. They came unscathed in the second session, and after resumption of play post tea, India were still looking to save the test match. But then one act of madness, which we often see with Rishabh Pant, that created India's downfall. India were going along with Yashasvi Jaiswal scoring his second consecutive 50 of this test match and batting brilliantly. Yashasvi Jaiswal, will come to him later, but then Rishabh Pant, after that act of madness in the first innings, we thought that he had learnt and he was going very patiently. He perhaps, we thought, had understood the situation and he was playing according to that. India not in a position to win, save the test match. But Rishabh Pant did what he only does. And to the bowler of the caliber of Travis Head, what was the need for him to do what he did in the first innings? He went for a pull shot off the bowling of Travis Head, the part-time bowler, off spinner, and was caught in the deep by Mitchell Marsh. Rishabh Pant, 30 runs, 104 balls after batting for 2 hours and 13 minutes. He fell to Travis Head, caught in the deep, going for that unnecessary pull shot. It was not required at that moment. 121 for 3 in 58.3 overs. But then the fourth ball of that Travis Head over, Pant was out. 121 for 4 and the downslide began and India were all out for 155. For an additional 34 runs, India lost 7 wickets in the space of 20 and a half overs. Well, Rishabh Pant, even Rohit Sharma said in the post-match press conference that Rishabh Pant alone can decide how he can go along, bat according to the situation, rather than anybody telling him. Rishabh Pant has to understand this. Yashasvi Jaiswal, 82 in the first innings and going well in the second, he fell for 84, and the breakthrough that time was given by Pat Cummins, the captain, who was eventually named man of the match. Yashasvi Jaiswal went for a hook and there was some controversy in this particular dismissal. Australia appealed, not out given by Joel Wilson of the West Indies. Australia took DRS, and though there was no spike shown by the snickometer, the third umpire, Sharfadullah of Bangladesh, he ruled Jaiswal out on the evidence that the ball had deflected. Going by the replays, it was visible that the ball deflected off the top face of the bat and onto the gloves of the wicketkeeper Alex Carey. The third umpire could be heard saying in his decision-making process that he says, I can see contact with the gloves, and that was what gave Australia the prized wicket of Jaiswal. It was snickometer that had no spike, but then it was seen by the naked eye that the ball had deflected off the top face of the bat and also touched the glove. Well, there are two ways of looking at it. You go strictly by the technology, follow the process. It's often that the spike gives an indication whether there was a bat or no bat. A straight line with no spike is not out, and some spike at the point of contact of the bat with the ball is out. But in this case, there was no spike, but still the third umpire went by the deflection of the bat, and in his case, as he said clearly, I can see contact with the gloves. That's something for debate. It is a point to be debated. But then Yashasvi Jaiswal was gone. Joel Wilson, earlier in Yashasvi Jaiswal's innings, when the batsman was on 31, he was lucky to be given not out, and the third umpire saw that it was umpire's call on the wickets. The argument then by the experts and the commentators were that more than half of the ball was below the bail. It was clipping the top of the bail. More than half of the ball was below the line of the bail. But then the Bangladeshi third umpire, he went with the umpire's call, which was not out in this case. But then I personally feel that this umpire's call should be removed from DRS. It is either out or not out. You hit the bails fall, it is out. Whether it is kissing the bails, kissing the stumps, or it is forcefully hitting the bails or the stumps, the bail has to be dislodged as per the law for a wicket to be earned. And it is either out or not out, no two ways in between. Well, that is for a separate point to be talked about in another episode. But then Rishabh Pant's wicket opened the floodgates. India down, they were all out even before the second new ball was due. The last hour with 15 overs left in the day's play, second over after the start of the last hour, India, the last rites were performed. India all out and giving Australia victory by 184 runs. What should have been, if we look back at the Brisbane Test, the third of this series, weather saved India, otherwise India would have been down 1-3. Now they are 1-2 down with everything to play for in the fifth and final test to be played in Sydney from January 3rd. India must win to retain the Border-Gavaskar Trophy, because the last time India won the series, they are the holders of the Border-Gavaskar Trophy right now. Australia will look to drawing, but then they always play for a win, and they will look to winning the Sydney Test match and regaining the Border-Gavaskar Trophy. So much for this Melbourne cricket test match, which saw a record attendance across all the 5 days. Never before has so much crowd attended a test match anywhere in Australia, leave alone Melbourne. Today, on the final day, the gates were open free for the public. 74,362 turned out to watch the exciting fifth day's play. And overall, over the 5 days, 3,73,691 spectators went through the turnstiles to see this exciting test that saw Australia win by 184 runs and take a 2-1 lead in this Border-Gavaskar Trophy. Well, it should have been India who should have been sitting ahead or sitting pretty, but then now they are down and they'll have to come over this defeat. And a lot will be spoken about Virat Kohli and Rohit Sharma, but then they will themselves ponder over the manner in which they have been dismissed and will look ahead with positivity come the new year. Until then, take care, stay safe, and have a lovely year end. Bye-bye.